Rayay family. Anuki Ptah Rayay Amun. I am a student teacher of the master teacher, Partner Bab YAANANAN. We are blessed in this day and time to be given the information pertaining to the upliftment of the people that have been oppressed for so long. We've been told that the Son of Righteousness, as spoken in the book of Malachi, will come with healing in his wings for those of his kind. But those that not of his kind will be burnt up like stubble in the field. This reading, this shadow, is from Pa-Fa'uk Magwan-U Muhammad Salal, the Supreme Beings, Melanite race. We will pick up on verse 244. It was all planned down to the 24,000 genome, and blacks having the most melanin. Melanin is even more present in the inner ear nucleus and is present at the end of the auditory nerves that extended from the ear at one side of the brain over to the other. That is why we blacks hear music unlike whites, who only hear high-pitched sounds and not able to keep up with the low drum beats needed for rhythm and rhyming, why they also can't dance to the beat of real music and must create fake beats and move up and down to or stand still and only move their feet. Their eyesight is bad and their hearing is also bad. And the melanocytes, which migrate from your brain and populate your entire skin, these are very important because they actually secrete melanin into the bloodstream. Melanin in motion into the blood, to organs all over the physical body. Nuwaubians, because melanin being in the skin, called as an umbrella over the nucleus of the skin cells and protects the nucleus from being directly bombarded by ultraviolet light. Ultraviolet rays strike the DNA that is present in the nuclei. It can denature the DNA, even destroy the DNA. Therefore, the cells would die or rupture prematurely. And this can happen not only in superficial skin cells, but also in deeper skin cells, so that the person's skin ages more quickly and the incidence of skin cancer increases, which most white people get. Be it hair, skin, eyes, ears, the mind, the blood, melanin plays a very important central role, which is just beginning to be appreciated. The true knowledge of it and how it relates to the white and black races has been, for the most part, suppressed to maintain by whites the mythological inferiority of black Africans as part of and parcel of racism. The overlords of the white race hold the truth that the supreme beings are in actual fact the Melaninite children, or the black race, makers, owner, cream of the planet Earth, gods of this universe. Nuwaubians of Wu-Sabat about melanin and racism know these actual facts of the matter. There are basically 4 degrees or stages in the maturing of the degrees of the melanin in people. There are these packets called melanosomes. The degree 1 is in the one in which the melanosomes is just about empty, small amounts of melanin, and it doesn't have the orangeles or the machinery to reproduce melanin. The degree 2 has the machinery to make melanin, yet it is empty of melanin. Degree 3, the machinery is there and it is half filled with melanin. Degree 4, the machinery is there and it is completely filled with melanin. Negroids and mulatto negroids, blacks, have degrees 3 and 4. Caucasoids and their mulattoes, whites and reds, they mainly have degrees 1 and 2. That is, melanosomes are empty of melanin. Aborigines and East Indians have melanin as well as Asians. Pure blacks have the 4th degree. Mixed blacks have the 3rd degree. Other races of color, meaning Aborigine, Indians, and Asians, have the 3rd and 2nd degree depending on mixing. The Latino will have 3rd and 2nd degree also depending on mixing. Now, many Europeans have migrated to South America and islands, or mixed or claim because they speak a dialect of Spanish, they're Latinos when they are not. Many Europeans invaded South America, and those islands, who many descended from, the migration of Asians eastward to North America, Canada, Alaska, South America, and the island. All this mixing resulted in crossing between degrees 1 and 2. So you see what race mixing does to the melanin in people. The white race knows that they need melanin to see and hear as well as feel, and affections more just than animal instinct. So they mixed their seed within every 400 years once they left Europe. For America, they knew they would die out if they did not get melanin, being they were hemophiliacs. That is to say, they lacked hemoglobin in their blood, the red coloring matter of the blood corpuscles. Hemophilia, a hereditary disorder in which blood fails to clot and lack the plasma in the blood for clotting and healing. Whites came to America with this disease, and they needed to rape the Native Americans. When that failed because they gave these mixed Asians diseases, they killed them, and they knew they needed much more melanin, and only pure Africans had this. So in the 1600s AD, they set out to kidnap black Africans from the west coast of Africa and rape them for our pure, rich black melanin. That 400 years would end in 2000, and 1600 plus 400 equals 2000. So again, they offer their women up for use and try to attract the African American woman to Euro-American men, only to get melanin, or being 4 generations has passed, they would begin to get sick and weak and fade. Now that most people of color see the white race for what they are, bloodsuckers and killers of men of color, to get to the women of color, his end is upon him. The American Indian gene was too weak to save him, so he went to Africa to take Africans from black Africa. He could not survive in Central Africa. The insects were killing him. The noble mosquito saved Africa from the evil race, white vampire race, seeking our pure blood. So from Europe, he left for India for blood. So Europeans took over India. Some of them from Europe left for Australia for blood. So Europeans took over Australia. Europeans even tried to take over Asia. They're always seeking blood of others, or they start wars to kill the males. They found out that the supreme being of melanin was pure Africans, yet could not stay in Africa thanks to malaria, the infectious disease transmitted by the Anopheles mosquito. The true African saviors sent by our ancestors to save us from the disease race of whites, the leper race. They are the Adamite race of the Bible, who also was cursed with leprosy and became Canaanites. You find their birth date record in the Bible, Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 through 27. The first of the white race born, Tammuz, Tammuz the 6th, 3761 BCE, given 6,000 years of dominion. Their white or fair-skinned daughters were raped by extraterrestrials. They called the sons of Elohim, Genesis chapter 6, verse 2. They birthed a hybrid race of Gibborim, who are wicked and evil by their very nature, Genesis chapter 6, verse 5. And from this same race, a fair skin called ruddy, reddish skin, was sons of Noah, born perfect in his genes, Genesis chapter 6, verse 9. Yet from his sons Ham was born one, Canaan was cursed, Genesis chapter 9, verse 25. The curse was leprosy from reddish to albino, white as snow. And this disease spread to affect Canaan, or Laban, his other name's seed. And their nappy white fur became yellow thin fur. Leviticus chapter 13, verses 30 through 32, to blonde straight fur. Leviticus chapter 13, verse 30. Then the priest shall examine the sore, and indeed, if it appears deeper in the skin, and there be in it a yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a scald, a scaly leprosy of the head or beard. Verse 31. But if the priest examines the scaly sore, and indeed it does not appear deeper than the skin, and there is no black hair in it, then the priest shall isolate the one who has the scale 7 days. 32. And on the 7th day the priest shall examine the sore, and indeed if the scale has not spread, and there is no yellow thin hair in it, and the scale does not appear deeper than the skin. King James Version of the Bible. These are the birth date records of the white race from 4000 BC to 2000 AD. They're 6,000 years. And now, from 2000 AD, which was 6,000 years again, they're in need of melanin in their blood. So once again, they seek to plant their DNA in Latin America, as they are now rejected by the Aborigines and East Indians and never was accepted by the Asian females. So he has made his move onto Latino women and offers his woman now to any male of color. You see her on TV nude and naked, or being used in any and all kinds of advertisements and commercials, yet no one wants her. She is used up by their own cultural rules that they can have boyfriends and have as much sex as they want before marriage. So they are used up as other cultures protect their mitochondrial DNA passed on by the mothers only. Most know that each time a female exchanges body fluids with a male, he becomes part of her genes. You are what you eat or drink. Black women in the West can look like white women. Indian women in East India can look like white women. And Latino women can look like white women. Yet white women can't look like black women or Aborigine women or Indian women or Asian women. This they see and this they know. All these are signs of the end of their race. So from the year 2000 AD, the white race has started to fade from the world. 1, respect. 2, power. 3, wealth. No one fears them or respects them or trusts them any longer. No one depends on them or needs them. They have abused all others. And now, as their own Bible, Revelation chapter 18, from Revelation chapter 17, verse 1 through 18, him and his witch of the wicked is fallen, and there is nothing to prevent or change it now. So Nuwaubian women, and all other women of color, protect your DNA from disease. Know that feminine at birth, each 9 months, you are the field to produce our mitochondrial DNA. You're the record keeper, the garden of our people, our seed, our future, which cycles every 24,000 years. If you do not keep the disease race out of your garden, you will not produce the divine offspring. And remember, our growers grew the feminine first, then grew from inside of her outward the masculine. Females of Sirius, males given to Orion by her. And like plants and flowers and animals and birds grew us in different hues of skin colors by our pigmentation and our melanin. Masculine Nuwaubians, you must remember that she birthed you as her protector. Man from woman, male from female. You will not be respected by other races until you start to respect and protect the black woman. The brown men you see respect their women. The yellow men you see respect their women. Yet by accepting the Adamites' religions of patriarchism, the lie that is women were taken from man named Adam's rib bone, and that she was the very first woman ever made in Genesis chapter 2, verses 21 through 23, and named Eve, Genesis chapter 3:20. They claim that she was the mother of all living. The story of this Adam and Eve is true, but the time is not true. Them being the very first human being on the planet is not the truth. It is only the birth date records that is of the white race. Their religious laws taken from the Sumerian stone tablets in part only speaks of the one race and those who grafted, cloned, and made them. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 through 27. They have no respect of their women. They use and abuse their females, and this is acceptable by their religion and their culture and day-to-day lives. This is not our birth date records, we being older than the sun, moon, and the planets. Our physical birth date records to date predate their 6,000 years, that they admit to in their own Bible and Quran report of their very first man on this planet, his age and death. Genesis chapter 5, verses 3 through 5. He died at the age of 930 years, according to them, from the year 4004 BC. That is the Christian and Muslim record. And 3761 BC, that is the Jewish record. That would put him only 6,000 years back, no more. And also they give a complete list of man after man from their Adam, name by name, right down to the man they called Joseph, the father of Jesus, Luke chapter 3, verses 23 through 38. And the Muslims' Quran agrees with this family line or people of the book, Genesis chapter 5, verse 1, Quran chapter 3, verse 33. The exact same names, the exact same persons. This line of man after man is also kept in another record of their Bible, the books of Matthew chapter 1, verses 1 through 17, from Abraham to Joseph, the husband of Mary, the mother of Jesus. The rule of natural nature is made clear from the very first Adam, book of Job, chapter 14, verse 1, born, birth, begot, conceived, to Jesus, Matthew, chapter 1, verse 18, Luke, chapter 1, verse 31. So, as it is recorded by this, the Adamite race, they, like all other humanoids, were born of a woman. Yet in their Bible and Quran, they show no respect for their women. They ignore matriarchism. They use and abuse their own femi-sex or femi-sex. And she is a sex symbol world over, not to be respected. Revelations chapter 17, verse 7, the great whore, harlot. You must depart from their religious and their cultural ways of life. He and his is only 6,000 years old. You have to date been proven by actual bones found inside of Africa, from South Africa to North Africa, 9 million years old. It is, and they are, ones of females, by their mitochondrial prove they are Africans, from whom all others came forth. So we, as blacks, or the original race on the planet, and their Adam and Eve story has nothing to do with our race. The blacks or the brown races of Aborigine or Indian, nor the yellow races of Asians. Their Bible and Quranic report of Adam and Eve is only them, the ruddy and the white race. All other races respect their women and will never respect you until you start to respect your own women and others' own women. So, in actual fact, man is of woman, male is of female, father is of mother, never the other way around, unless it's a grafted creation by genealogists or geneticists, such as was the Anunnaki or Anakim, who grafted and made the Adamite race and made them able to procreate or give birth, giving them a navel, with many attempts before it was perfected from a test tube to the womb, and only perfected in Noah, Genesis chapter 6, verse 9. He was perfected in his genes and civilized or just. Yet the seed of deception was born in his sons. At the fourth son was the curse of leprosy, imperfection again. Genesis chapter 9, verse 25. He was the fourth son. Genesis chapter 10, verse 6. 1. Cush, first. 2. Mizraim, second. 3. Foot, third. 4. Canaan, fourth generation. Exodus chapter 20, verse 5, Exodus chapter 34, verse 7, and Numbers chapter 14, verse 18. And just what is the curse that their deity put on them when he or they are angered, as found in Exodus chapter 4, verses 6 through 7, Quran chapter 7, verse 108, and also in Numbers chapter 12, verse 9 through 12. Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 8 through 9. 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 20 through 27. So because their deity's anger, he or they put a curse of leprosy in their genes, up to the fourth generation or 400 years. So Canaan, the fourth son, and Genesis chapter 10, verses 15 through 6, Canaan's fourth son, Amun, the father of the Amorites, a name that means mountain dweller. They were cursed, and that is described in their Bible and Quran. Bible book of Leviticus chapter 13, and yes, lepers are in the Quran, Quran chapter 3, verse 49. And it reads, and make him a messenger to the children of Israel, who will say, indeed, I have come to you with a sign from your Lord, in that I design clay, that which is, like the form of a bird. Then I breathe into it, and it becomes a bird by permission of Allah. And I cure the blind and the leper, and I give life to the dead by permission of Allah. And I inform you of what you eat and what you store in your houses. Indeed, that is a sign for you if you are a believer. Sahih International. These are the same stories of the same people from the first prophet Adam to their last prophet Muhammad, the ruddy and the white race, who are all melanin recessive, and to bring you close, they use blind faith, religious beliefs to get to your melanin within every fourth generation or 400 years, or they will die out. Why? Because you are, as the black race, supreme beings, melaninite race. Everything you read in the Bible and Quran is taken from Egypt and Babylon. Every story is only taken from those cultures and deities. Their Bible and Quranic religious system was taken from the Persians' own religion, Zoroastrianism, which is from India's Hinduism. Don't believe me, check it out for yourself. I, as Padnabab Yanun, am only a warner to my own race. Each race has had their own warner. I, as Isa al-Hadi al-Mahdi, son of al-Hadi Abdur Rahman al-Mahdi, son of Muhammad Ahmed al-Mahdi, 1845 through 1885 AD of Sudan, and my mother, Mary Abba Okran, of the Iwe tribe, the Akan clan of Ghana, West Africa. I was born 1 minute after midnight, Tuesday, June 26, 1945 AD, in Takoradi, Ghana. I came to the West from the East and was raised up among you as the master teacher, yet I did not speak one word until I was 4 years, 4 months, and 4 days old. Not one thing did I utter until that exact day and time. And the word was put in my mouth by the ancient ones, and all I teach is by way of them, to you. So I am by my father, Dungalawi tribe, and by my mother, the Iwe tribe. I am raised up among you to redeem you from the wicked evil bloodsucker of the poor lives and to bring you over into the hereafter to restore your own ancient culture, Wu-Nuwa, religion, animism, language, Nuwaubic, deities, Natharu, to teach you who you are, not what you have become by outsiders, who came into your homeland called Africa by the ruddy Arabs. All those ruddy whites invaded our land, our minds, and our melanin-filled bodies. He has made us sick with his diseases and illnesses of all kinds, and cut us off from our own voices of the omniverse, who speaks to us in music and tones. I am here in flesh to realign you with your own. I come to my own. I am a descendant of your ancient deities, and as such I am a deity, like father, like son, a deity in the flesh and blood in their own words, God in person, the supreme human being of this time, a God amongst gods, a deity among deities, for redemption, the master teacher, to inform you there is no unseeable, invisible God, no unseen deity, only absent ones, as in their own Quran says, Quran chapter 2, verse 3, absent, not unseeable. 1 John chapter 4, verse 2, Nuwaubians of Wu-Nuwaup, we know and see spirits, ghosts, seen on photos and tapes. Many have been caught over the years, filmed, taped, photo, videotaped world over. So ghosts, spirits, specters, apparitions, disembodied spirits, familiar spirits, so many people have seen spirit beings world over. And the Bible and Quran say this over and over. How can they lie and deny what they claim is holy and pure? They're God's own words. The Bible says, appeared to Abraham in Genesis chapter 18, verse 1. The Bible says Adam and Eve looked at God, Genesis 3, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Leviticus chapter 9, verses 4 through 6. 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 7. Genesis chapter 32, verse 30. Numbers chapter 14, verse 14. Judges chapter 13, verse 22. Over and over you read, God, Lord, has been seen on earth in flesh. Genesis says God ate food with Abraham. Genesis 18, 1 through 8. And the Quran says over and over that God was on earth and rose up to sit on his throne. Quran chapter 2, verses 31 through 37. God spoke to Adam face to face, taught him all things, just as Genesis chapter 2, verses 19 through 20. All about names. God taught Adam, Quran chapter 70, verses 1 through 4. Quran chapter 10, verse 3. Quran chapter 13, verse 2. Quran chapter 20, verse 5. The same God raised upward from earth to heaven. So he was on earth. He was seen. He did appear. He did walk on earth. He ate meat on earth. So how can they teach that he cannot ever be seen ever? That would be a mystery God. If he could not be seen, So Nuwaubians, take time and seek and research and study what I incarnated this time to teach you. Know for yourself what has and what is being taught to you. Study the Bible word by words and the Quran by words and examine them to see what they really say about deity. Their Bible says God had sons. Genesis chapter 6, verse 1 through 5. Those sons of God had physical sex with the daughters of Adam. Those sons of God had to be born of a mother. They had sperm, semen. They had an XY chromosome, DNA, 46 chromosomes. They had genes, navels. They were born of a father God and a mother goddess to be sons of God. The physical women they took as wives had sex with, became pregnant and gave birth to babies. this is what their own Bible says, Genesis chapter 6, verse 4. What does this say? God in the Bible had a wife, the mother of Son of God. Son of God has sperm to impregnate physical women on earth. The God of Genesis is the same God of Quran. This is no mystery God, no unseeable, unseen God. He is seen, he is felt, he is physical. He has DNA, 46 chromosomes. To teach that God is not physical, that God is a mystery, nothing, a living nothing, a talking nothing, a walking nothing, and appearing nothing is to really teach that God is unknown. There is no truth in such teaching. Truth is truth, facts are facts. Confirmation is there. Confirmation where there is no evidence. There is no truth to teach, only blind faith and beliefs. Ask yourself, can you or anyone teach that which he or she themselves does not know? No. Such teachings and preachings of a mystery God, that God is unseen, unseeable, a mystery, makes the people teaching such nonsense liars. It's all mistranslations of ancient languages into dialects. Now, it's all mistranslations of ancient languages into dialects, then new tongues, and the true meaning lost. Those liars are from the Adamite race. His teachings of a mystery God are about his makers because he does not want to know. He does not want you to know who made him, when, and why. He was made only for Enki to prove that he is wiser than his brother Enlil, to show all Anunnaki that he, Enki, Yahweh, was exact when he said he could make a kind of man. So he and his sister, Ninursag, made her creatures that were deformed, beast-like, until he, Enki, asked his Egyptian wife, Hesed, and she approved. Her son, Ningishzida, or Zahutu, Tahuti, or Thoth, operated on both Enki and Ninursag to make a male and female Adapa and Titi, and this was them, later called Adam and Eve. This was found in the Sumerian stone tablets from which the Bible and Quran was taken.